Well, good morning and welcome back to the allotment and the channel, where at this moment in time I'm getting both the greenhouses done. We're early in the morning, I think we're around 8:30, something like that. So what I'm going to do, not much today, so I'm going to film this video over the Saturday and the Sunday. I'm carrying an injury again. It's that sign of old age, but I was putting a gate on my daughter's garden, separates the play area from the patio, and just bent down to put this final screw in, and oh, I felt a creak at the back of my back, and literally within hours I was in agony. The next morning, so really I don't ought to be doing too much. Even doing this is a bit of a strain, but what I'm going to do today, not much on the allotment. I'm going to get this watered up, and then I'm going with Norman to pick up some of that compost. And again, that's something that I don't ought to be doing, but it's black gold, you know. I'd crawl over broken glass for some of that stuff. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get watered up. I've come down to pick the bags up, and then I'm going to pick Norman up. So I'll introduce you to Norman. Now Norman is the guy who had the plot before me, and he had the plot for 50 years. And before that, his dad were on it, I think. Or he was on that plot and his dad was on this one. Then when his dad packed it in, he did it. So he knows the history of these plots. So eventually, one of these days, I'm going to convince him to have a chat, and we'll sit down and we'll just do a little talk about how people used to grow back in the day. Anyway, less chat. Let me get cracked on and get this watering done, and I'll go pick Norman up. Right, that's all watering done. I like to fill all my watering cans back up after I've watered, so that when I come down the next day, it's not a daunting as task. You can just get straight onto watering, and then at the end, just fill them back up. I mean, it's 6 of one and half a dozen other, but I just think psychologically, coming down to full cans and getting straight into watering is better. Anyway, so that's the watering done. I'm not going to do nothing on the plot today, other than get my bags now, as I say. But let me just show you something. It caught me. Here it is. I think this one would it. One of these Zabrange, and now I know why they're called Zabrange, because they are very, very orange. Now I took one the other day. It's at home, and it's probably ripening up. I'm hoping tomorrow to have a barbecue and actually use it. I forgot to use it the last time, but look at that, and I've got literally hundreds on here, so happy with that. Right, let me crack on. We'll go get Norman, and I'll get on with day. Here's Norman now. Hey up, Norman. You alright?
Valley.
Yes.
Alright.
I'm alright, mate. Jump in.
Right. We're ready for going that way.
We are, mate. We are. This is Norman. Norman, as I told you, had my plot many, many moons ago. We're going up to a secret location, some black gold, so we're not going to tell you where it is. But what I'm hoping to do is, eventually, as I said to you earlier, is have a little bit of a chat with Norman, because Norman knows everything about growing. In fact, don't you think he looks like Alan Titchmarsh?
Oh, thanks a lot.
I think you do, Norm. I think you do. Anyway, we're going to get off. We're going to get some of this black gold, and I'll speak to you soon.
Bye for now.
Bye. So, here's the mountain of black gold. It's quite a big pile, and we've just...
Have we got enough now? Do you want any more?
I know, I think I've got enough, Norman, there. Yeah. I think there's 14 bags there, and I think that'll do for now. And I can use that just to, as I start emptying beds, I can
good
put
stuff,
that.
is that?
It is really good stuff. So,
It is, yeah.
So me and Norman are going to head back, but Norman does promise that we'll sit down at bar with a pint, and we'll have a chat about the allotment back in the day and how different.
It's changed. Different, well, different people now, different ideas have come along, and
Yep.
like what we used to do years ago.
Yeah.
Broken jam jars, tin cans.
Exactly.
Plants.
And it was the same sort of mentality of make do and mend, wasn't it? You just use whatever you could.
Yeah.
So there's elements of that are still around, but I think how people grow now is certainly completely different to how you guys used to do it.
Bags of compost, something
Yeah,
like that. You
yeah.
just use what you had there on soil.
Yeah, yeah.
Use your own soil.
Yeah, and raised beds. Did they have raised beds back in the day? Or were it
No,
all just straight
no.
into soil?
No, straight in soil.
Yeah, and there were none of this no dig nonsense, were there?
Say again?
There were none of this no dig nonsense.
Oh no, dig it, turn it over in winter.
In winter.
Get it ready.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, that's great, Norm. As I say, what we'll do is we'll put a video together in a few weeks' time, where we'll be sat down with a pint and we'll have just a casual chat about how things used to be.
Yeah.
Until tomorrow, guys, I will see you later. Bye for now. Well, good morning. Welcome back to a beautiful, sunny allotment. Back's not feeling too bad, so quite pleased about that, but I'll be testing it in about 5 minutes time, so I need to have a look at maybe taking a few of those potatoes up, but I'll show you that in a minute. I just want to turn you around here. One of the subscribers mentioned that she had some disabilities, and this might be an idea whereby you could build some tables in your garden or in your plot and then work out of planters that bring it up to sort of waist height. This is something that they've knocked together. It's been here quite a while, so it's lasted. I can't quite remember which subscriber it was, but that would be a good idea. Right, let's get on to the plot, and I'll tell you what I've got planned. Morning, Lil. She'll go mad me calling her Lil. She liked her full name, Lily. Yeah, so here we are. There's the bags that me and Norman got yesterday. Now, the plot is still looking quite full and lush, but I think we're at that point now where we're on the turn, and I'm slowly but surely going to be harvesting things and cleaning things off. One of the first things I'm going to do today is I'm going to get rid of the courgettes. I'm all courgetted out, if there's such a word. So I think I've got one little yellow one down there to take, which I'll take for today's barbecue. It's supposed to be going to be a glorious afternoon, so I'll be doing that, but I'm going to be getting rid of that. As you can see, these potatoes are well and truly gone. So I've got a row here, this row here of Kestrels to get up. I've already taken that row up, and I need to get these 2 rows out. I mean, we're not raining at the moment, so I'm not too fussed if I don't get them all out, but I'd like to certainly get some out because we're running short at home anyway. So yeah, so I want to do that. I want to get those courgettes out, and then these 3 beds will be all prepped up. Look at these thistles here. That's the worst weed you can have, because those roots go right down. We've got so many thistles around this plot at the moment, you know, you're never going to escape them. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to have a look at 1 or 2 things. I'm going to have a look. I think I'm going to leave that for another week, and then I'm going to select the heads that I want to save, because I definitely want to be putting those teddy bears around here again. What I might do actually is put the teddy bears and the what were they called, the ones that I used, something spot, sunspot, the small ones, alternating them round there. But it was a real picture. I might think twice about putting them in the bed, because I went over quite quick. I know it was hot, but you know, keeping up with them was a bit difficult. I might put something else in there, but certainly the sunspot and the teddy bear sunflowers for the grandkids will definitely be going around there. Yeah, I'm thinking of having a look at one of these. They just feel right. So I'm gonna take one off and have a look. I'm also gonna check a couple of leaks out. We're gonna check them all out because we're getting quite a lot of rust there and get them in the freezer, but I don't think my back will hold up to that. So that's what I've got to do. The other thing I've got to do is I've got to deadhead my beautiful dahlia hedge, and it is like a hedge. But before I do any of that, that kettle's going on. Oh, the other thing I've got to do as well today, I mean, I won't film all this because it's going to go on for a while, but I've got to get in amongst this because these are just covered in leaves, and I've got absolutely loads of peppers on here that are just not going red. But with plenty of time, but I'll get them stripped off. And I'm very tempted to get this cucumber out and these melons because they're doing nothing. Right, let's get the kettle on. Right, I'm gonna get my gloves on for this because these have got little sharp edges on there. I don't like it. Right, there is. I'm sure there's a courgette there, look. But yeah, I've had loads of these. And certainly the yellow ones. The green have not been that good. I think it's because I left that humongous. Ah, well. There you go. Come out in one go. Look at the size of that. One plant. Oh, I'll get that down to the composted area. And let's have a look at this green one. There's a couple of courgettes on this one, but never got a lot at all. So maybe my fault, or maybe that one has stolen all the energy. Wow. This is running all the way across there. Another humongous plant, but didn't produce much. Get that across. But we don't need this. Part of that plant there. This is the squash, but I've got to be very careful. The squash and the pumpkin. I've got to be very careful that I don't take off the main stem, which they're not. Right. And the rhubarb has seen the light of day for quite some time. Right, I'm going to turn you around. So that's empty. I'll clean that bed up, but I'll take some of these taters out now. My back's warmed up. Right, let's get these Kestrel up. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, these are decent size, very good condition. Not a lot of slug or worm damage. Really nice size them. Well, I don't know if my back will hold up here. I think I might have to leave this because I can certainly feel I'm not one for giving up, but I think this is going to be a job too far for me at the moment. So these might have to stay in ground maybe another week or so, because I'm feeling that. Oh. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do something a little bit more sedate. So I'll take a good look at the compost. This is the manure I put on top of all the green waste. So all this can now go in here, and I'll just chop it up. I've never had a good back, you know. I mean, I don't remember, I didn't struggle in army. I used to carry loads of weight on his back. It didn't affect me then. I was fine. But I'd say what? 28, into my 30s. That's when it started. Mainly. My dad had a very bad back. My sisters have bad backs. My son's, my son and one of my daughters suffer with the back, so it must be something that's in the genes. But there was no way I could finish that. No chance. Chopping this up just makes it break down a little bit easier. It's a little bit more green waste. The bottom of this plot here, you can't see me there, can you? Not that you need to. The bottom of this plot becomes the dumping ground in front of the compost bin, but as everything starts to get harvested and all the green waste comes down. But as I told you before, this will be full to overflowing, and the lid will weigh it down for a couple of days, and then it'll sink down until eventually all the green waste is in here that I want in here anyway. There's certain things that I don't put in. I don't like putting potatoes in it because you end up with little volunteers in every bed, so I don't do that. But a vast majority of everything, all the green waste goes in here. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Ow! So prickly. Oh. There's some little baby ones coming, but as I say, I'm all courgetted out. Yeah, it was good to see Norman yesterday. And he's got a lot of knowledge. He knows a lot about gardening. Little hints and tips that he's given me. And he lives on the same street as me. So when me and Mick have our little powwow sometimes on a Friday and a few pints, I invite Norman over and we glean him of all his knowledge. What I think I'm going to do now, because even this leaning over here is pulling on my back. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over, seeing as I'm incapacitated at this moment in time, and I'm going to do a reveal. Let's get one of them sweet corns and let's see if there's out happening. If it looks somewhat like, I might even get one out of the greenhouse and see if what's happened there. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to just take it easy for a few days, which is really difficult for me. You know, I have to be doing something. I'm not one of them people that you'll see sat about watching television or whatever. Really, the only programs I watch, YouTube and sport. But when there's a job to be done, I like to get it done. This is nearly where I need it to be. There we go. That's nice and firm. What I'll do, oh, I've got some in here as well. Some of the old cabbage and the bit of grass. The grass is well and truly going down. All this was off just one cabbage. It was a monster of a cabbage, that. Absolute monster. There we go. What I'll do is I'll move you. Let's go have a look at this sweet corn. Right, let's pick one of these and see where we are. Fields rounded off there. That doesn't feel rounded off, that feels like it's got an onion. I think I'll go for this one. Let's take the sock off, find another one to put that on. There's one just here, straight over the top, and let's take this one off. As I say, that looks really brown and worn away. This looks promising, guys. This looks promising. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Could do with a bit more yellowing up, but what are we saying? That, even though I'm in a little bit of pain, has made my day. Something as simple as that. It's all the way up to the top. Yeah, it could do with a little bit of, well, I don't know, I think that looks okay. But I haven't harvested one of these for 2 years. Because, as you saw last year, they were decimated, and the year before that. So, the sock thing, because there's been no damage whatsoever here. The sock thing and the peppermint, I kept getting confused in the last video, peppermint and coconut essence. It's peppermint, and I just put it on this wood all the way around the edge. But I am made up. So the big question now is there one of these in the greenhouse? Let's go have a look. Right, so I don't care what happens now. I'm absolutely made up that I've got sweet corn. So I'm not as confident in here. These are well and truly on the way out. And if they've not done no, I think some of these are rubbish. But this one, if any, whoa, people, I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm off to put lottery on. I'm off to put lottery on. People, look at that. That has made my day. Yep. There's a few missing down at the bottom, but that is brilliant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these. Some of them I know are not going to come to note because they're really, really thin, and I don't get like them there. You can feel there's no on them. I'm going to go through them. I'm going to rescue what I can get, and that's it. I can go home. I've been paid. I've been paid. I'm having a cup of tea to celebrate. Mick's on his way down shortly. Well, I'm absolutely made up with that. And even though my back's a little bit dodgy, that's just brilliant. Made my day. And I know it's only sweet corn, and I know it's only, you know, but when you've invested a couple of years in to try and to get that, and you finally do, it's very rewarding. So I'm not going to be doing too much now. I've put kettle on. I've brought me baked beans and sausages. I'm going to have that. And me and Mick are going to have a good old powwow. I've just met the plot holder that's taken my old plot at the back, BK, and his son. Really, really lovely folk. Really lovely folk. And he's got a long-term vision and a long-term plan. And we had a really good chat just before I filled the kettle up. So that's really good news, you know. And I think that we're really starting now to build a nice community around here, and I think that's what it's all about. And then hopefully, you know, you get good plot holders, you end up with a good site, and the two sort of going hand in hand. So anyway, look, I am definitely gonna get this cuppa down, mate, have my breakfast, then I'm gonna get up home. It's my granddaughter's birthday today, Summer. She is 10, so I want to wish her a happy birthday. So I'll be going up to see you later. Right, thank you very much guys for subscribing. Thank you very much for tuning in and for all your positive comments. Sorry that the video's not been full of action, but I'm out of action. I am going to have to rest this back up. So hopefully I will be back with you on Wednesday. But until then, everybody take care. Have a great rest of the weekend and happy growing.